Welcome back to the caster's desk here for the Intel Extreme Masters Singapore. This tournament has shaped up to be one for the history books. This is just crazy.
If Grubby comes back again from a 0-2 deficit, I'm going to lose my mind.
Yeah, I sort of am as well. Even if he just ties it up 2-2, and then Sting wins the third game, I would still, the final game even, I would still kind of be a little bit perplexed. That game just there, that game number 3, I'm pretty sure Artosis will agree with me when I say that technically shouldn't happen from the Protoss point of view.
No, he should have been dead. He was. I was getting ready to call our champion Sting. You know, that,
so
I can't even believe it, and I don't think Grubby. Well, Grubby always believes himself, so I guess he can. It is Grubby against Sting, guys. Down here in the bottom left. Give it up for Western Wolves Sting. And up here in the top right, if you want him to win this and bring it to game number 5, let me hear you. Give it up for Grubby.
I think they won a game 5, man.
Who doesn't? Sting. Only Sting, though.
Sting doesn't want a game 5. No. Western Wolves doesn't want a game 5.
If I was like Sting's father sitting at home watching, even I would want a game 5, okay?
Yeah,
this is
all right.
This is some intense stuff.
All right, guys. So, indeed, Entombed Valley is the map. A fabled, well, nicely done map for Protoss here. So, in essence, Grubby could have a... Wait a minute.
He's 9 scouting. I'm really confused. You never 9 scout, but it looks like he just wants to get in. He's like, all right, a cheese has to be coming by now, right?
Yeah.
Right? And, in fact, if it's command center first, a 9 scout's great against that, too.
Yeah. Can start harassing that SCV, be really annoying.
They lose way more mining time than you do.
Yeah, they really do. They have to pull off at least, well, they had 2 SCVs, right, to actually properly deal with that. So Grubby is over here. He sees the gas timing. That in itself is really useful. Sting didn't wall off, so technically he could have got up here a little later, but still, it's a good read to take.
Yeah, just to see that he's going for gas, Grubby immediately goes into double gas. I love that. It's so smart. It's so nice. He can do all sorts of different builds from here against a gas opening. For instance, you can go gate robo gate and be safe against everything in the book.
Yeah.
The only thing you wouldn't really like to find out is that he went reactor command center. That's about the only thing, and you're only going to be slightly behind. So I'd love to see that out of Grubby here.
So he puts 2 guys on gas in this, right, and just sticks with the 2 guys and they get each gas guys for now.
Yeah, just for now.
Yeah.
It looks like he only has 3 total now, which is fine. You know, everyone balances their gas in different ways for exactly what they're going to be going for. Yep. So Grubby right now making his out, just in case this is a 2-racks play, and in fact, it's a 2-racks play.
And yep, I mean, it's very, very useful to get that Zealot just in case your opponent wants to start doing engineering blocks as well at your natural. But you're right, getting out as many units as possible against. Good God, I haven't seen 2-racks play for so long. So
it still exists a little bit in Korea, not that much, but you run into it from time to time. And if you know, a lot of people have been skipping the Zealot nowadays. And if you skip that Zealot, it's really hard to hold, and no matter what, you're losing at least 4 probes.
SCV now being microed against. He gets 2 swings off on it, and I mean, it's going to be hard for that SCV to escape now with that 3rd swing on the way potentially, and even the Stalker coming out here. So SCV is guaranteed to die. They don't.
All right, so he saw that Grubby's mining full capacity out of 2 gases, and it is a robo perfect for Grubby here. He's going to want to just make his units non-stop out of that gate, add a second gate as well. And he's going to have a lot of super powerful options as long as he holds this without taking severe damage.
Should be okay with that. Right now we have 2 Marines and 1 Marauder on the way at any given time. There was a time where 2-racks would actually just hit with like 2 Marines, 1 Marine, 2 Marauders, and like 2 SCVs. But nowadays with 2-racks, people wait a little longer and accrue a really, really nice little contingent of forces that can be absolutely hectic to stop sometimes.
And he's going to check up this ramp. He's got to be careful, though, because concussive shells is on the way. And if he catches one shell in that one Marauder shell on that Stalker, he'll lose it. And that's not a good thing. You got to keep every unit alive.
I think, like, even though when I'm you know, playing as Protoss and I poke up the ramp and I see that many Marines, I'm thinking that's a reactor barracks. There's, I mean, 7 Marines out there. It's going to be a little bit more dicey, especially with the lack of a command center, right?
Well, now Grubby knows exactly what it is. He will lose this Stalker, which is uncomfortable. But, again, Grubby has a lot of options here. With the 2 sentries, with the Immortal about to pop out, he's completely fine. The scariest thing that could happen really is a bunker down at the bottom of his ramp.
Yeah, that's pretty annoying to deal with. Of course, he can start poking away at it, but still, it's a little bit difficult to do. Right now, the 3 SCVs are on the way. I think Sting is actually just going to go for some straight contain here. Straight contain.
Yeah, he's going to go into bunker play, and I mean, it's a smart move. It's very good. You know, if you have that Stalker, if you just constantly make units out of this, sometimes you can just stop it dead before that happens. In fact, he may be able to with good force fields, so we're going to have to just wait and see about that.
Where is Army's army positioning itself? Out of curiosity. It's okay. Woo, okay, so he's coming back. Needs to land on that force field. Oh!
Really great force field there. He just doesn't want to lose any sentries. Can he save all of them? Looks like one will go down, and he's saves the other one. Big hold there for Grubby, just crushing that attack.
I see why he moves back now. He lures his opponent into a false sense of security, right?
Yeah.
He pokes up. He realizes that the army just isn't there. If he pokes up and instantly sees a concave there, he's like, well, okay, I'm not pushing up. But yeah, that was very, very well played by Grubby.
Now, this is a cool situation for Grubby because he's in a good spot, obviously. Sting actually hasn't started a command center. Okay, there he goes. He starts it. But from here, if Grubby just adds 2 more gates and makes an observer after this immortal and goes across the map, there's a huge percent chance he will kill his opponent. In fact, this is why MC himself actually figured this out, as far as I know, that if your opponent opens 2 racks and you counter push with immortals and sentries and stalkers and stuff after your expand, they are in so much trouble. And in fact, Grubby's adding 2 gates right now. He might be going for it.
This could be a little bit scary. And it's a nice push to go for right after, you know, you're getting your expansion. You don't want your opponent putting pressure on you. Why not go on the offensive a little bit? Even just poise yourself in the middle of the map. Sting, though, is actually going on the offensive. If he goes up that ramp, there's a lot of energy there.
He doesn't even have stim. He will get slaughtered if the force fields are even mediocre. So, yeah, he sends 1 Marine up. All right, he sees, like, yeah, I don't want to fight that. Oh, pretty good force fields right there. Grubby going to pick off a few extra units.
Yeah, not too bad in trade there at all. Nexus is on the way. It's 4 immortals. 4 immortals, Artosis.
He can walk across the map with this. This type of army is God mode in this matchup until Medivacs and Stim, and the Medivacs are quite a ways off. He has a big window here.
And he's got the pylons in position to actually go for the reinforcement here, which means that he needs to move his army back. He needs bunkers. He needs to know that this is coming. I guess he will get confirmation with the watchtower, so now he falls back to his defensive location, but bunkers need to be there somehow, and actually, Grubby could go for a contain for quite a little bit until the Medivacs are out.
It's not just a contain, though. He's going to kill all 3 supply depots. Sting is going to get further and further behind. When is he going to get this expansion up? He has to wait for his Medivacs.
Yeah, he's going to be supply blocked for so long as well, unless Sting can actually react to this. And those Immortals are going to take that down so quickly. Force fields go down, preventing a few of those units from actually retreating here. And now Sting has to start some supply depots. He has no more units he can produce from here on out.
All right, and look at this. A huge move going on. I cannot believe it. This is so good for Grubby right now. He's getting the Medivacs, so that's the scary part. You know, Grubby has to be careful not to have all his units down here, but if he does, in fact, he'll probably be able to kill if too many units left in Medivacs. I mean, Grubby knows this all, though, and he's feeling great at the moment.
Yeah, right now, though, he has to be a little bit careful about those 2 Medivacs on the way, as you said, and with that orbital command landing in, and I don't really think he can push up here too much. Actually, this is clever by Sting. If for some reason his opponent wanted to march up there, he's limiting the space Grubby has to space himself out. So that is really, really clever as well. He's actually, he really wants to go.
No, he's not going to go. That would be just too crazy. Oh my God, he does stim and actually take that. Oh, Grubby misstepping for a moment there. Does throw on force field. It's time for him to go home at this point, I feel. I mean, he's already delayed it a lot. He's got...
He throws down the force fields. He knows he wants to try and come out of there, and now he knows that the drop is on the way, so he's going to fall back, or he should do at least.
Well, he either falls back or goes up the ramp to kill him, because that's now 8 units, and that's 8 Marauders and 2 Medivacs that are no longer up that ramp.
Do you do that, though? Do you risk
I feel like you go home. I feel like...
I bet you'll go home.
I don't take that risk here.
No.
He's still holding on tight here, just sending his Stalkers home. But yeah, he's going to have to go pretty soon back.
Surely he's been warping in at home, right, though? Like,
He must be, yeah. I mean, he has a Colossus on the way, but no, he doesn't. Where are his units?
Where are his units?
He doesn't have really any units at home. Just I mean, these Marauders could do a lot of damage. Grubby is bringing up Stalkers, but Stalkers against 8 Marauders with 2 Medivacs is not necessarily what you want to do.
Oh, he's going to pick off one of the Medivacs really quickly there. That means that some of these Marauders are left to die regardless. Tries to micro forward, killing those off. Nice defense, but oh, look in the middle of the map. He stims up. He's on the pursuit. He's going to try and catch these. He needs to throw down force fields right now. Oh, there's a little bit of a gap. Grubby could be on the verge of losing the entirety of his force here. He needs force fields dropping in front of him, trying to limit what he can do. Sting catches so many of Grubby's units out in the middle for almost completely free.
Oh, Grubby was in such a great spot, but Sting is so clutch in this circumstance. It's still anyone's game.
Oh,
but
he's bringing
that was
the
big.
SCVs.
Oh.
No, okay, maybe transferring them down. I overstepped there. I just saw it and I was like, that was a bit crazy. But still, Zealot harassment going on there. He tries to poke away. The units are actually going to poke up as well. Actually, yeah, he does have quite a few SCVs here. He's going to go for it.
He needs force fields. Good force fields, and good force fields do get thrown down. These Zealots have to be pulled back. The SCV is coming up, but that's free kills right now for Grubby as they don't deal much damage. Can he hold on here? He has to hold on here.
Sting, I feel, might have overextended a little bit. He didn't have enough to break that location, and with this one Colossus getting good swipes, but he actually targets it. He tries to push forward. The second Colossus comes out. Grubby cleans it up, and right now Sting is in full retreat.
Sting, you're going to have to run out of here. He might lose a lot as well. This is a strong army from Grubby. Sting, will he be able to kill anything off like that Colossus, dealing some more damage, but not quite. And he might lose some Medivacs on the runaway.
Yeah, he may end up doing so. Grubby right now, 2 Colossus up, Thermalans and a 3rd Colossi coming out here. So if he goes, he's sending another Zealot, I think, into his opponent's natural, which is just so annoying every single time. There's one Zealot there whacking away at your SCVs all the time.
So very true, and he's going to clean that pylon up. And now the game looks like it may begin to normalize. I mean, this has been crazy back and forth. I can't believe how scrappy Sting can play this game. The fact that he caught those Immortals and Sentries. I mean, yeah, Grubby was over there a little bit too long, but for Sting to actually catch them and kill them with that Marauder drop flank. Just a fantastic play from both players so far this game.
It really is. We have that Twilight Council now on the way, as well as more observers coming out here for Grubby. Vikings in production here, but Grubby, I feel, you know, he's got a good lead here. He doesn't want to throw it away. He doesn't want to leave Sting to his own devices, and I mean, with these 3 Colossi and the only 3 Vikings that he would have out if he pushed across the map, do you think he could do some damage, or does he want to play just still defensively?
You know, he only has 3 Sentries, so I'm a little bit nervous for him to do a real push here. And the Viking count is growing. It's about to be at 4. He's adding a 2nd starport. And Grubby just finished his 3rd base. I mean, I feel like this is a time to be defensive and, you know, use your extra probes, use your extra Nexus to gain a lead.
Not too bad a choice here, as he actually throws down another. That's the starport, right? It is. It's a starport in a very cool location. It allows him to reinforce very quickly. Catches a few units of his opponent in the middle of the map. He's 30 supply up right now. Grubby, he hasn't gauged just yet how far he is ahead, but there's certainly that lead factor. And if Grubby can carry it through, we could indeed see a game number 5.
Well, this is a pretty big drop. Grubby's army mostly in the middle of the map. Could Sting do some significant damage here? It would really be good for him, and in fact, he's going for it. Grubby is actually, he was walking towards Sting's base, so he has to go home. Luckily, he does have a Colossus in there to slow this down, but Sting might be able to snipe that Colossus.
Yeah, he's got 11 probe kills thus far. He has to retreat now. The army is still there. As actually, Sting came in from a really cool angle there. If he'd have come in from the extremity of the map, he would have been almost certainly spotted by that observer.
Well, Sting is going for another drop. He's just trying to keep Grubby in his base for now, while Sting does max up. You know, Sting is setting up for just a big timing attack here with a ton of Ravens. I mean, Vikings to take out these Colossi. And it's such a powerful attack, especially on this map, that Grubby should for sure at least lose 1 base. And I love what Sting's doing here. This is such a smart move. He's giving himself a real chance at winning this game.
Yeah, I get scared for Terran though at these points in time though. If you're up as a Protoss in terms of supply, and then you have charge as well as, you know, eventually maybe some good upgrades out with that as well. Charge lots just sort of overwhelm a Terran that doesn't have that much supply.
It's so true.
It's very, very scary.
Well, another drop moving in. Grubby not quite ready, sending his Stalkers back right now. We'll see if he can stop that easily. But he's also got to be careful because not having his Stalkers with his Colossi could be bad if Sting decides to move out.
Yeah, he's got that double starport production out right now. 3 Vikings at a time, making sure he can get up to 11 Vikings pretty darn soon. And Grubby, meanwhile, he's switching back into the Templar Archives tech to grab some High Templars or Archons. Either not too bad a choice here for Grubby going into the mid stages of this game.
Well, it's time, Caleris. The SCVs have been pulled. He right now has 11 Vikings and 7 medevacs. You cannot underestimate this army.
No.
The 5 Colossi must be protected as long as possible. If he cannot protect them, he won't have the damage output. He won't be able to kill off this army.
High Templars are here. Is he going to go into an Archon? He's trying to set up a good concave here, but actually Sting is engaging a lot of this army kind of off-center, and right now he's actually getting a really, really good engagement. Those Colossi are going to be brought down very quickly. The force field's actually working against the Zealots right now.
Yes, these force fields not the best, but the army is dwindling because he doesn't have that much supply. It's getting a little bit close. A lot of medevacs left over. These Zealots charging forward. Their +1 attack about to finish as well. This is so unbelievably close. Sting rallying up more units, and he might have enough to actually kill off what Grubby has.
Oh, he's coming in from either side as well with just a few more reinforcements here. Grubby going to try and fall back to his ramp. He's got another Colossus on the way. He's chrono boosting every single production facility. Grubby feels a little bit in tatters right now. Breaking down the rocks, he realizes he needs to actually deal with that, and that Sting is on the way to actually kill off a ton of the probes.
Yeah, that third base, not much use trying to save it. I don't know if he'll be able to. Great micro so far by Sting, picking off some medevacs by Grubby. I love that move. A Colossus is going to come out, and Archon just did as well, but Sting has a great spread.
He needs to buy time. He needs those Colossus to come out. That one Archon is so important here as well. The probes trying to tank what they can. The one Archon will go down pretty soon, and there it goes. That Colossus needs to be out here and now. Such a scrappy engagement here from both players, but Sting is actually prevailing just a little bit. But no, the one Colossus comes out. He's going to chase him away. Sting doesn't feel like he can take it. He's trying to micro as best he can, but I don't know whether... This is insane.
This is insane indeed. If Grubby can just catch his breath a moment, he can make a lot of Archons. But right now he has to make units that can fight the instant they warp in. He might be extending a little bit too much. His Stalker's coming out. He does have one on them and blink, and it looks like he may kill off the rest of this army.
He is going to, he blinks forwards, he's killing off the medevacs, and there you go, GG! We go on to a game at number 5 after one of the most intense little skirmishes I have seen in TVP for a long time. Grubby moves on to the game number 5, and Sting here has got to be a little rattled.
Absolutely phenomenal there by Grubby. That was back and forth. That was craziness. Grubby just barely holding on. We got to ask, guys, what do you think over there?
My heart, I mean, why is it that Grubby has this ability in all of his games give us heart palpitations, guys? That was an absolutely amazing game. And okay, let's talk about how that started off. I mean, Grubby started off by holding off the aggression at the beginning of the game with concussive shell from Sting. Any thoughts?
I think it was just a really, really nice play from Grubby there. I think he saw the gas and he said, you know, what are the options here? And he chose to go for that Robo. Obviously, he gets the Observer out very quickly, he gets the Immortals out, and it ended up being almost a hard counter to Sting's build. I actually personally thought he was going to go Phoenix to do some sort of strange counter to a 1-1-1. Was completely wrong. You called it correctly, Joe. What do you think, Blisk? With that Immortal play, how did that engage with the 2 racks that Sting opted for?
That aggression from Sting was definitely horrible for him. He shouldn't have overcommitted so much into units. If he went for an earlier command center, it would have done him so much better. But Grubby was ready to do a counterattack after that as well. He went up to like 3 Immortals and then went for a counterattack, which actually did a lot of damage, even though Sting was already kind of prepared for that. On top of his ramp, he didn't float his command center down at all. So yeah.
There was also that one moment where we actually saw the bio units catch the Immortals and the Sentries with the tiniest gap in a force field. That felt like a knife going through my chest. How would Grubby have felt at that moment in the game, and what happened afterwards?
So yeah, Grubby was probably very shocked that his units got caught, but it wasn't as it wasn't a big deal because he was so much ahead in supply and he had Colossus as well. So all he had to do was get 3 sentries on the ramp, which he did exactly, and then that's how he defended that attack. And the crucial part after that was the following engagement by Sting.
Yep.
And
well, let's go into the game and take a quick look at that, guys. This was the follow-up. Huge attack from Sting. Pig, talk us through.
Really, really great engagement for Sting. He was so far down in supply, but he pulled his Vikings up, pulled his SCVs, and these Colossus just couldn't get the surface area. They were hitting only 1 or 2 Marines and Marauders at a time, and Sting kept pulling back more and more. Grubby here, who was up quite a lot in supply just moments before, suddenly found himself with just the remnants of an army left. All his Colossus dropping all 5 of them to just 9 Vikings. And we see here that it got very, very scrappy after that, and Grubby managed to eke out the win by the narrowest of margins.
That was an absolutely incredible game, and that ties the series up as well, guys. Grubby's been here, he's done that, he's got to be feeling the confidence now, but it all comes down to this. Let's get into this game with Artosis and Kalaris. Over to you.